China, senior U.S. trade officials to visit Beijing on March 28 to 29. March 21, 2019. Economy News. Baghdad. A U.S. trade delegation headed by Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin will visit Beijing on March 28 to 29 March to hold the next round of negotiations, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce said Thursday. According to Gao Feng, spokesman of the Chinese Ministry of Commerce, Deputy Prime Minister Liu He will visit Washington in early April for further talks, while the world's two largest economies are seeking a trade deal to end long-lasting disagreements. Direct talks will be the first since US President Donald Trump postponed a deadline scheduled for March 1 to avoid increasing tariffs on imports from China worth $200 billion to 25% of its current 10% level. Trump warned on Wednesday that the United States might keep the charges levied on Chinese goods for a long time to ensure Beijing complies with any trade agreement, thus increasing the uncertainty surrounding the talks. Trump, China trade deal likely. Automakers can avoid tariffs with U.S. plants. Washington, March 22. Reuters. U.S. President Donald Trump said trade negotiations with China were progressing and a final agreement will probably happen, adding that his call for tariffs to remain on Chinese imported goods for some time did not mean talks were in trouble. Trump, in a television interview aired on Friday, also said he expected to keep a 25% tariff on European light trucks amid separate ongoing trade talks with the European Union, but that companies could avoid it by building factories in the United States. The Trump administration is engaged in ongoing trade talks with both the European Union and China as part of the Republican president's America First agenda. Top U.S. officials are headed to Beijing in coming days, with the summit possible between Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping to seal any final deal. The European Union, frankly, treats us as badly as China, Trump told Fox Business Network. Our deal is coming along very well. We'll see what happens, Trump said regarding China. I think the deal will probably happen. I think they need it very badly. Asked about his remarks earlier this week about U.S. tariffs on Chinese goods staying in place for a period of time and whether that meant there was a snag in the negotiations, Trump said, "No, not at all." Trump then segued to the European auto sector, including trucks. "We get a 25% tariff on that segment, that's our best segment by far. And yes, we will absolutely be able to keep it. Not only keep it going, I really think we have tremendous potential," he told the network in the interview, which was taped on Thursday. "I'll tell you what the end game is. They'll build their plants in the United States and they have no tariffs," Trump added. Then, asked if he would agree to zero tariffs, he said, "I would do it for certain products, but I wouldn't do it for cars." Shares of German automaker Daimler jumped briefly after the interview. The United States in July agreed not to hit EU car imports with extra tariffs while the Washington and Brussels sought to improve economic ties, but the U.S. ambassador to the EU on Thursday said Europe was falling short in trade talks. Additionally, the U.S. Commerce Department has given the White House a report regarding the legal basis to impose steep tariffs on cars on national security grounds. Asked if autos and auto parts posed a security risk, Trump said, "Well, no. What poses a national security risk is our balance sheet. We need a strong balance sheet. Otherwise you don't have national security," Trump added. "We're straightening it out." Separately, Trump also told Fox that if U.S. lawmakers do not pass his new deal to supersede the North American Free Trade Agreement with Mexico and Canada, he might go pre-NAFTA but gave no other Iraq. Activation of the first phase of the Kuwaiti grant for the reconstruction of the affected areas posted by Walter Emmer. Construction Economy News. Baghdad. The fund for the return of areas affected by terrorist acts, Kuwait's first stage grant of $15 million. The fund said in a statement read by Economy News that the president of the fund, Mustafa al-Hidi, signed a contract to activate the Kuwaiti grant phase I, amounting to $15 million, allocated to the health sector in the provinces affected by terrorist operations. He added that projects will be launched on Wednesday. The phase includes, according to the statement, the demolition and reconstruction of main and secondary health centers, and the processing of medical equipment by 19 projects distributed to the provinces in the provinces of Nineveh, Anbar, Salahuddin, Diyala, north of Babylon. He pointed out that the consultant contract for the first stage of the second phase has also been renewed and will be funded with $85 million allocated to the health sector for the rehabilitation of hospitals and health centers in the governorates affected by the terrorist operations.